Hello and welcome to another Franchise Hockey Manager stream. My name is Adam. I'm the community manager of Franchise Hockey. With me, as always, and not digitally pictured on your screen, is FHM producer Jeff Say. Hi, Jeff.
Hey, everybody.
And we are back with Cleveland Dreaming, the 1976-77 Cleveland Barons. Tonight's the Night, Part 23. Not quite as catchy as California Dreaming, but it seemed appropriate now that we're in the Midwest, after all, Jeff.
Yep, out in the farm country south of Cleveland, where we will last for another season and a half before finally going under, even though we are the three-time defending Stanley Cup champions. So you can see
Sometimes.
here, just going, yeah, although we've won the last three as the California Golden Seals, the owners got greedy, moved us to their new arena in Cleveland. We're off to a pretty good start there. I think pretty much on track with where we were last year. Maybe not quite as dominant a start. So if I think I remember right, you lost a couple right near the end there. It started going slipping a bit, didn't it?
That would be a great question that I don't remember.
Yeah.
Schedule.
And actually, I was looking at this, and it looks like Pittsburgh has actually put together a pretty good team.
Yes, we
They
have lost
We've lost what?
the last two games. Yes,
Last
we
two?
lost Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just looking at the Pittsburgh, they just traded for Billy Smith, and so now they've got pretty deep defense with Denny Potvin and a few other guys. Marcel Dion up front. Phil Esposito has really fallen apart after Boston traded him to Detroit. He's, I guess, their third line center, fighting for playing time. But
You got shook.
Pittsburgh is a definite contender, and as are the Canucks, who made a Canucks-like trade. They decided they wanted to win now, so they traded for 48-year-old Gordie Howe. They gave up their best young center prospect, Guy Chouinard. Naturally, Chouinard is in the top 10 goals this season in Detroit.
Yeah.
So they've burned their future, so the Vancouver better win now because it's going to look ugly in a couple of years.
Okay, I'm just going to point out here for a second.
Yeah,
Cardinals fan, welcome. Thanks for coming. Second, Phil Esposito is actually their number 4 center.
yeah, I think they've been moving him up and down. He's had a few more points than he would get if he was in that spot, but we'll see what happens with him.
He's
Uh,
also playing second line power play. So
yeah, that might be why. Okay. And we're doing okay. This is, should mention we put out the final content update for the game earlier in the week, a couple of days ago. So we are on that now. We won't have the weird problem with so many fighting suspensions that we were getting when we were playing this on a test build for the last couple of weeks. So Dan Maloney's will be the last of that once that goes away. How many more games has he got? Oh, ouch, he got 9 games. Okay. So we're going to be feeling that for a little while then. But everything else should be back to normal. And might as well just get rolling here. And you're burning out Gilles Melanche as usual. So I'm going to give Heron a few more starts as the backup. And 3-2 win.
I mean, we let him play, but then we were losing, so we were riding Melange.
And waivers, Dave Schultz getting waived yet again. Looks like it didn't work out for him in New York this time. I think that's his third or fourth team in the last 4 years, but we're not taking him, so we'll see if he winds up anywhere. Yep, Chicago this time. So was he there already?
I don't remember.
No, he was not. So another new team for Dave Schultz. And wow, 11-1 win over Washington. And Washington, well, that was only with 29 shots at our end. We put up 6 goals in the first period, 4 in the second, and I think we kind of took the third off.
Oh, Cardinals fan says context. We're getting hammered with the severe weather. Fair enough, Cardinals fan.
Had a nice day here today. It's supposed to be Adam and I were just talking about this before we came on stream. You got snow, and we're 17 Celsius on the weekend. Beautiful.
Supposed to be warm up here soon.
And I'll put Huron
Uh,
in
we,
for the second game against the Capitals since we won so easily. Oh,
we
they.
do have a couple owner goals, but we have satisfied one of them, although it hasn't check marked
I'll
yet.
take a look at that. We somehow lost to Washington in the second half of the back-to-back, so we motivated them with that blowout win. But we still got a healthy lead. Top of the division. Owner goals are.
Cardinals fan, I get you there. This time of year kind of sucks.
Yeah, we got a local scout, and we needed to acquire somebody with chemistry with Larry Robinson. I remember there being,
Well, we looked at somebody, but I'm like, they're not. It wasn't going to work.
yeah, Greg Body. Uh, who's Pete Shearer? Not sure where he got chemistry with Robinson from, but junior maybe? No, minors. But he's just a anonymous minor leaguer, but for some reason he qualifies, so let's offer him a cheap contract and bury him in the minors and make our owner happy. He only wants 10,000 for a year. Good enough.
Well, he's got to be probably on that top team till it clicks off, I would imagine, right?
I think it just has to be under contract. If not, if it doesn't, if it's not, I can't remember if that one clears instantly or not. If it doesn't, I'll just bring him up to whenever the deadline is.
Okay, here's something I just noticed
And
too for
back
that
on
matter.
track, 6-0 win over Detroit. What?
Well, we moved across the country.
Oh, no, it completed as soon as I got him signed.
Oh, nice. Well, he's on the team to start though, right? So
Yep,
that might
and
be why.
oh, and now he's not.
Yes. Um, but our GM media relationship is still suspicious. So, do you think moving to a new market it would change for the better?
Yeah, maybe, maybe not. Oh, and we got Dennis Holt back, so uh,
That's a key thing.
Willie Lindstrom. Actually, wait, we had LeBreton in. I juggled the lines around a little bit from the way you had them. Swap LeBreton with Lindstrom. Leave Lindstrom in the lineup, and LeBreton comes out. Oh, by the way, I noticed this when I was looking at it earlier. Your Jets are having a very good year. Have a look in the WHA 23 6-2 to
Oh,
start the season.
140 goals to 76 against. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say so.
What do they got there? Jamie Hislop, good WHA guy. Doug Risebrower from the Canadians. Ron
Bowman,
Settlebauer who had 40 goals 1 year for the Canucks. Yeah, our guy Kirk Bowman. I think we still own the rights to him, and Bob Bourne, I guess, is the big one. Real life Islander. He lives here in Kelowna now.
couldn't have fixed the jerseys for the Jets, though, huh? I see. I see.
That's just a default for teams named Winnipeg Jets.
I know. The other ones are in there, but they're only set to turn on in the 79.
Ah, oh yeah, the default ones. Yeah, because like we can't do WHA jerseys. All right. Uh, Lindstrom's a little tired, but other than that, our injury list is clean. Just waiting for that
Now,
suspension to expire.
Jeff, I'm just going to
Yep.
point this out as one of the things that got fixed in the update that we discovered in our last stream, which is important to know that you haven't addressed,
Which
because
is?
we had a slight data error, which is why the jerseys were wrong in our last stream.
Oh yeah, there was just a missing underscore in the Cleveland Baron jersey's name, so that got fixed. And I actually I had to manuate it and save, but that's why we've got the proper
Yeah.
uniforms now. And we cruise over to
Yes.
Boston 6-1. By the way, look at Boston is basically falling apart, but Bobby Orr is having a monster year. 51 points in 32 games so far. Can you imagine how bad they would be if he wasn't around? He's
Well,
pretty much carrying that whole team.
they have what our old goalie, Gary Edwards, and Dick Redmond's there.
And Hedberg, for some reason, his fitness is way down, so I'm going to sit him for the second half of
Yeah,
that
one
back to back.
one of their biggest issues has been like Derek Sanderson just never took off.
He was buried. I mean, he was buried behind Esposito, and
Actually,
can't
like
remember who. I
half
think
the
they.
guys on half the guys in Boston are ex SEALs, like guys we had. If you look at this team, it's crazy.
Another 4-1 win in the Rangers, so we're just rolling right along here. But yeah, Sanderson didn't develop his development window was open, and now he's just sort of floundering as a career third, fourth liner. Probably should have gone to the WHA like he really did. And playing Minnesota now, who will be merging with in a couple of seasons, and that'll be a scary team. And they beat us 2-1. And we got Boston yet again. 3-0 shutout this time. Yeah, they're just a mess. Flyers also not doing well. It's funny because those are two, the strongest teams in the league in real life at this point, and just hasn't gone that way for them in this game. The Flyers are actually behind Colorado, who are in their first season in Denver after moving from Kansas City. I got some good young players, so very few of these guys will probably make it by the time. We'll still be with the team by the time they get to New Jersey, though. And Montreal now, who's also struggling this year. Still doing a thing where I look on the special tab for the starting goalie. And they beat us 2-1. So we're losing a lot of one-goal games here, but still not too concerned.
Stop taking the law shot.
And Troche is a minor facial. Maloney's suspension is over. So I'm going to swap him with Lindstrom just as on the baseline, and he goes back in his usual spot on the fourth line. But then I'm also going to swap in Troche for Lindstrom this one game, and what I'll do is just let the AI set the lineups to, because we had a center in the or a winger in the center spot, and doesn't matter. 6-3 win over the Leafs, and Jacques Lemaire has been playing more on the third line for us this year. Still gets a couple of points. And Troche is back normal, and we got the annual player poll. Will Derek Sanderson be overrated again? A couple of our guys on the list, Joe Malash is the toughest goalie to beat, and we are the coach that people most want to play for.
We should be with the amount of cups we've won in the last little
And
bit.
Sanderson is yet again most controversial, most overrated, but the Bruins keep him around.
He hasn't played in that many games, has he? I think.
23 games. Not all of them, but still getting into the lineup more often than not. And Dave Schultz, 19 penalty minutes in his first 9 games with the Hawks, yet to score a point. And Guy Lafleur is in Minnesota in this one, so they're going to get all our guys combined with Tony Esposito in goal. Oh, yeah, this is going to be ridiculous. Ian Turnbull, Mark Howe. A little thin at forward aside from they got Brian Sutter, rather. Rick McLeish too. Where's Lafleur? Is he here? Oh yeah, strained ACL.
It would be a pretty good team.
And Troche back into the lineup. And the Gordie Howell's Wings lose 5-2 to us. And we got a development. Joe Malash was the goalie of the month, and Anders Hedberg was the player of the month. So nice. Sweep for us. Development report, not too bad, although there's not that many guys that are on our active roster. And Dennis Hull continuing to slip, but somehow he still keeps producing points. Jim Watson, Serge Savard going down. And then a bunch of guys we don't really care too much about, including the guy we just signed, that the owner wanted. Monthly budget, you're. Let's see if we can bump the marketing spending up slightly, but you already got the morale all the way up. And Huron will get the start in the second half of the back-to-back 7-1 win over the Flyers. And Jean Pronovo got injured again. Lacerated finger, 1 to 2 weeks, so Willie Lundstrom gets some more playing time. Can't keep him out of the lineup. Should mention that one of the things we added in the new update, the last of the major playable minor leagues, or last of the major top-level minor leagues is now playable, the IHL from 1984 on. So you can play as the Orlando Solar Bears or the Toledo Gold Diggers.
Minnesota Moose.
For all of one season, and then the Manitoba Moose.
I mean, the Minnesota Moose gave us a fantastic logo.
Yeah, that is a good logo. Although it looks
The
vaguely
Hockey
like Joe Camel.
a little bit, but the Hockey News Radio is one of the best logos for quite some time, even after it came to Manitoba.
And should be another easy win against the Bruins. Yep, 7-0. Trottier with a hat trick. And Marcel Dion gets his 600th point, and I think he's leading the league in scoring. And his line mate, Rick Martin, number 2. Eric Vale shooting up there for us. He's having a good year. Almost hit his career high already. And, okay, fairly tough game against Vancouver, who's playing well, and they've got Gordie Howe now. And Richard Brodeur there several years early. And Willie Lindstrom, in the game for Pronovo, gets a hat trick and an assist. Some of that probably was because Anders Hedberg got hurt.
Okay.
Finger avulsion fracture. That does not sound particularly pleasant.
No, that sounds like it would hurt quite a bit.
So Daniel Bratton going in for him, and hopefully Pronovo is almost back. Right, do I have... No, Tardis on left wing. Must have played a little time, got a little playing time at right wing because he improved. We can bring Jim Harrison back. But he looks pretty much done. Bill Flett finally finished in Chicago, it looks like.
Bob Berry?
Yeah,
you bring Bob Berry back?
He was actually pretty decent still at this point, but he went downhill quickly after that.
Did we not? I'm pretty sure we had him before, did we not?
Yeah, I think I'm just looking at it now.
Yeah.
Didn't really find a spot for him. He was playing 20, 30 games a year. Then went to Atlanta and did okay for a few years, but it looks like he's done now.
That was expansion, wasn't it? He won the expansion draft.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And Gilbert Perreault gets an extension from the Canucks, who won the 1970 draft pick.
We should offer the Canucks, or try and get Gilbert Perreault and offer them like Denny Hull. That'd be a pretty good trade for the Canucks.
I don't think so. Give them at least a fighting chance. Come on.
Gordie. Go great with Gordie Howe.
Ooh, the rare 0-0 tie with Buffalo. Mike Liut and Denny Herron both getting shutouts.
Got goalie. Why are you not playing Meloche, man? Just add Meloche.
Because we're way out in front, and every game I don't play him in is one he can't get injured in.
So you'd rather hurt our backup. Okay, sure. Make our goalie go cold.
Minor injury to Forty Solming, so Schubert goes in for him. There, I'm starting Meloche against Detroit. Happy? 5-1 win. Pronovo is ready, which is good because Willie Lindstrom is dehydrated apparently. And oh, Dennis Hull has bruised his shin. I think he stays in.
Right. We were. You
And
could. You should put Hull on the trade block.
just to annoy you, I'm gonna. Well, we already got Tardif on the trade block on the left wing. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you can
put
still put Hull on the trade
Heron
block.
in against
We weren't gonna.
Vancouver.
We're not gonna resign Hull because he's declining and he wanted a huge amount of money.
Oh, good point. Yeah. And now Reggie Leach gets hurt. Oh, that's grade 1 concussion, 2 to 3 weeks. So our right wingers are coming apart here.
Do you want to go crazy here? Because I have a crazy thought.
What is your crazy thought?
Let's pick up Derek Sanderson.
We got 4 centers already. That makes sense.
You can play wing.
No, I can't.
You can learn to play wing.
And I'm going to call up Dave Lumley. Just
Not Rick Bonus. How dare you?
nope. Wasn't Lumley the guy that had, played 12 games for us last year and had 13 points, and we wound up sending him back down. But we got a few days off here, so I think we may get some guys back, hopefully. Lindstrom's okay. Hedberg still can't play, so Lindstrom goes in for him. And LeBratton plays for Hull. And it's a Ranger, so that'll be a fairly tough game. Nope, 5-1 win. Andre Savard, 2 goals off the fourth line.
Hard, huh?
And now Lumley gets hurt after we call him up. Minor facial cut. He can play through it. Although it looks like Hull is ready to go again. And how many wins in a row is that? That's 4-1 over Boston again. I mean, we're playing fairly weak teams. That's only a 4-game winning streak. Oh yeah, because we had that 0-0 tie. But you can see there are a dozen points on top of the league. And the All-Star Game rosters are announced. We got Malash, Robinson, Ron Greshner. We signed out of the WHA this year. We won the rights to him for a couple of years. He was playing for Minnesota. Had a huge year, 98-point year from playing as a defenseman. 2 years ago, having a good year with us, and made the All-Star team. Surprised we didn't have more forwards on it, though.
Minnesota, collapsed, so that's how we got him back.
And Mike Eves, who kind of got moved into Esposito's spot like 5 years earlier that he would have had an NHL job in real life, it's working out pretty well. He's on the All-Star team. And yeah, not a lot of other major surprises. Two-one win, narrow win over the Sabres. We'll take it. Now Schubert gets hurt. But presumably Salming is almost back. So put him back in. What's wrong with Schubert? Oh, Schubert has torn a thumb ligament, so he's going on the injured list, and somebody's coming up. I think that's probably Lars Lindgren. Played 25 games for us last year. Yep. And we got a few guys healing. That's good.
Well, we need that.
And none of our guys did much of anything in the All-Star game. And an extremely low-scoring All-Star game, 1-0 Wales over Campbell before they. That's actually a pretty high shot total, just really good goaltending, I guess. And Butch Goring gets an illegal stick penalty. He cheated with his stick
Just
in the
imagine the
All-Star game.
coach calling that. No, that's an illegal stick.
Okay, Lindstrom out, Hedberg in, and Leach is almost back, so we're getting healthy gradually. And Salming is fully healthy again. So the All-Star break helped us there. Yeah, 2-2 tie with Detroit. And Huron gets the second start of the back-to-back against the Hawks, who still have Bobby Hull. And we beat him 4-2. Trade deadline coming up March 4th, a little over a month away. Don't really think there's anything we need to do, is there?
Really think so, unless there's somebody interesting on the trade block.
Yeah, probably not at this point. We'll take a look, but no, our two guys are at the top of it. So we may see some other guys pop up as we get closer, but nothing really of interest to us, even depth-wise. We're fine with what we got in the minors. Another development report. Carol Vadney going down by 1. That's about right for this point in his career, but not too bad other than that. And 7-4 blowout went over Montreal. But now we've got a owner confidence. Yep, he's happy with us so far, not surprisingly, and thinks we should be winning. So, yeah, kind of obvious.
Well, I think we should be winning too.
So this should be a tough game. Pittsburgh, who's probably the second best team in the league. Although they did start to back up Jerry Cheevers. And they annihilated us, 8-2. Wow. Jim Roberts, defensive forward, gets a hat trick for him. And yeah, we fell apart in the second. 5 goals against. And that was about half the period. We gave up a couple of really late ones. Game was still within reach, and then we gave up 2 goals in the last minute of the second. So we may run into them again in the playoffs. Give her on the start against Chicago. Yeah, we bounced back with a 6-4 win. I think we may have peaked last year. Starting to get a little old at this point. Gary Dornhofer, didn't we have him for a while? Yeah, early on, 68, 69. And he never really he had one good year for us and never really matched out anywhere else. I think he had a major injury at one point, didn't he? Fractured knee, 120 days. Yeah, that kind of ruined his career, it looks like. Leach's concussion is almost better. Still waiting on that, though. And he's back. So Lumley goes out for him, and Lumley can go back down, despite
Probably a
again
good
getting
idea.
nearly a point per game while he's been in the lineup.
Well, that's okay.
And there we are, back into form. 8-0 win over LA, and Pronovo gets 5 points. Perot's got a point scoring streak going. He's up to 22 games now.
Nice.
And easy game against Colorado, so play the backup again. And he gets a 5-0 shutout. What's our goal differential this year? Must be pretty ridiculous at this point. Plus 137. Wow. Nobody else is better than 64.
That means we're doing something right.
And we get to play the Bruins yet again. It's nice having them in our division when they're this terrible. No, we just barely get by them, though, 2-1. Dunk Wilson had a great game in goal for them, 45 saves. Perot's streak is up 24 games now. Oh, Sabres and Stars made a deal, just some minor guys. Got the Leafs next. Gilbert and goal for them, and we win 4-1. Andre Savard having a lot of good games despite getting not too much playing time. Oh, and that looks like that's the end of Ken Dryden in Montreal. He's seemed to decline
On
unexpectedly early. Yeah, he's down to 2 stars. And who have they? Oh, they got Don Edwards from the Rangers. Oh, for Don Luce and a first exchange of first-round picks too. So who are the Rangers going with for the goal? Okay, yeah, they got John Garrett had pushed Edwards out as a starter in New York, so they felt they could make that move. Yeah, the Rangers did need another center, so Luce fixes that for them, and Montreal gets a better goalie because I guess they figured Dryden was done. Too interested in being a lawyer. And 6-3 win over Colorado. I don't think anybody picked him up either. Give Haran the start against Pittsburgh this time.
Yeah, well, at least he only has to go to, was it Nova Scotia at this time?
Yep. And 5-0 shutout over the Penguins this time. So they played our backup. They played their backup against us and won. We played our backup against them and won. Oh, and that did not go well for them. Oh no, that was in the next game. They played against Washington, I guess, the next night. And Billy Smith broke his elbow. So he is gone for 5 months. Yeah, rest of the year. So they're going to have to go with Cheevers as a starter. Probably regretting not picking up Dryden on waivers now. Shutout over the Sabres. Oh, and Minnesota has a trade offer for us. Oh, that's somewhat interesting. Peter Lee, who was a fairly high draft pick last year, but has only played 1 game. 2-star potential for Mark Tardif. So there's a 6-year age differential. Lee, I think,
I
is.
don't like that much.
Yeah, well, Lee was a 60-point scorer in real life. I think that potential is a little higher than it looks. You don't like it?
No. Tardis playing well.
Okay, leave it for now. Maybe we'll get a better offer. Seeing some more deals as we get closer to the deadline. Easy win over the Islanders with Gary Smith in goal for them. Colorado Pittsburgh trade now. Phil Roberto, I think played for both of those teams in real life, goes to Pittsburgh for a fourth rounder. Everybody healthy, relatively fit. And 3-3 tie against the Canadiens. Trade deadline getting close. And Blues next, another pretty good team built around Bobby Clarke. 5-4 win. And monthly budget still, yeah, we're still making money. I'm going to bump up the marketing or the game promotions a little more then. We'll take a quick look at our stats for the season. Yeah, Vale continuing to lead us. Hedberg having, well, not that much of an off year. Still point per game, but we've got so many other guys scoring well. He's only sixth on the team. So Tardif not having Salming struggling for some reason. Oh, there he does have a lot of assists, just not getting any goals. Savard's slowing down a little bit, it looks like. Other than that, no major problems. And in goal, yeah, Milosh having a huge year and Ron playing pretty well as backup. And now we got an offer from Montreal, but an owner confidence update first. Still happy. And 25-year-old defenseman Dave Fortier, who didn't play a lot in real life, is actually having a huge year for them now. Wow.
Oh.
Real Dave Fortier kind of bounced around a little bit. There you can see his actual career. So
Playing a little more forward, I'm wondering.
Oh, yeah, he can play left wing as well. I'm wondering if he's getting time up there. But regardless, I don't think we want to do that for Dennis Hall, do we?
I don't think so.
So we couldn't fit him in anyhow. And deadline is 2 days away, so we'll get this game out of the Leafs against the Leafs out of the way. And the Leafs get us out of the way. 5-3 win for them. Okay, I'm just going to advance it 1 day to get to the deadline, and let's see what we got here. So one of the things we fixed in the update is you'll get a better amount of activity on deadline day now. Although not that trade isn't particularly interesting. Brian Watson leaving Montreal for Minnesota. Smaller picks, smaller moves mostly. Let's see if there's anything interesting on the block. Don Edwards of Montreal just got from the Rangers. Dale Talon, who's had a more injury-free career than he had in real life, it looks like, in this game. Oh, no.
Will that make him a better GM?
Hard to say. Although, no, it looks like he lost most of what happened when he was 21, 71, 72. Torn elbow ligament, missed half a year. Half a calendar year in most of the season. Not really seeing anything that jumps out at me, though. Joe Micheletti. Again, we don't really need a defenseman. If there was, a big name guy, we could maybe package a couple of people for him, but not really seeing anything we should be doing. Schuberg is almost back. In fact, I can take him off the injured list. And send Lindgren down. But yeah, I mean, we're so good at this point that it's kind of pointless to try and make a major deal, I think. Well, just go with what we got then.
Sometimes that might be the best bet.
Oh, and then a whole bunch of activity after the end of the day. Just going through quickly. Now, Bob Goodenow gets moved again. Future NHLPA ahead. Not seeing many big names yet. Oh, mostly around. Oh, okay, there we go. Ricky Hua from LA to Colorado for Joe Micheletti. Yeah, who we saw in the trading block. But mostly relatively minor deals, although you can see how many more of them you'll get now. And after doing nothing on deadline day, we immediately lose 6-3 to the Flames. Schuberg is apparently healthy again. Got the Rangers on the second day of the back-to-back games. And 4-1 win. And nothing too interesting on waivers here. Veli-Pekka Katola, who was with us for a while, is apparently on the way out in Minnesota now. Oh, look at Dion is way out in front in the scoring race. And what happened to Orr? He was number 2.
He got hurt, didn't he?
It would appear so. Oh, yeah, there we go. The knees have started. Broken kneecap, 3 to 4 months. Beginning of the end. Three-one win over the Flyers. Continuing to do pretty well. Oh, Larry Robinson got hurt now. Lee Schuberg is back to fill in for him. Sprained wrist, 2 to 3 weeks. Schuberg is not quite 100%, but good enough. And no, we don't need delay treatment for Robinson. And yep, good, right on time. Schuberg can play for us against the Islanders. 6-2 win. Future Winnipeg Jet, Pierre Hamel in goal for the Islanders. Jet legend.
Sure, that's a word.
And yeah, Robinson is already could play if we needed him to, but we'll just give Schuberg the time because he hasn't had much of that this year. Ooh, Washington beat us again, 7-5. Maybe taking them a little too lightly. And looks like a fairly physical game, too. "48-year-old Gordie Howe has a 5-game goal streak going. So after losing that one to Washington, I'll put Huron in as against Buffalo. and comes back with a 3-1 win. And Pierre Leroux seems to be breaking out in Atlanta. He had a hat trick against us, and now a 5-point game against the Flyers.
Not bad.
Yeah, 76-point season. Got a few guys wearing down a bit, but I think we're fine to play Minnesota. 7-4 win. Not a defensive masterpiece, but we'll take it. And Dion has assist and point streaks going now. He must be way out in front at this point. Yeah, 24 points. No, God, 36 points up on Bob Clark. And so much for LaRouche. 8-0 win for us over the Flames. And we're just really kind of cruising into the playoffs at this point. Oh, that was
As we
close.
should be.
7-6 win over the Leafs. And Ron Greshner got hurt, apparently. As did Salming, but it's all relatively minor injuries, although Salming's fitness is down to 21. That's not great. Do we have a game? We got a game in 2 days. And Schuberg's at 40%, so I think we're calling up Lindgren. And we'll see what it looks like on game night. Salming, 41% fitness. Yeah, he's got to go out for Lindgren. And I think I will just go with that. And we dropped 4-1 to the Sabres. Mike Liut is coming along a little early for them. Kings fired their coach. And Salming's back, and Dion's assist streak is over, but he barely had a goal because his point streak is up to 16 games. Now, how do I fix the defense? Lindgren goes out for Salming, who is healthy now, but Greshner goes out for Lindgren. So we're not playing anybody that's hurt. Canucks up next. I will even play our starter against him, Adam. And we lose anyhow, 3-1.
You've given all these teams extra confidence.
And looks like Colorado may be firing their GM. Okay, these should probably start rotating guys in here just for anybody that's a little low on fitness. Hedberg will sit for Lindstrom and Vale for LeBrat, I just don't want to get anybody hurt right near the end of the year. And Lindgren gets first star with 2 assists. 7-2 win over the Islanders. And Robinson is healthy again, which is good because Schuberg was running down. Hedberg can go back in, and so can Vale. And play her on fairly regularly down the stretch because really don't want to get Milosh hurt this time. And we get shut out 2-0 by Minnesota.
Stop wishing on our guys getting hurt. Just let them go.
Just trying to avoid it. 6-6 tie against the Flyers. And we got an injury, but fortunately it's only Lars Lindgren. Hyperextended knee, 2 to 3 weeks. And are we done? Is that 80? Nope. St. Louis and Chicago left, but we got a few days off here. No, I'm not delaying treatment for Lindgren. Scouting update, yeah, not really anybody worth signing as a free agent. Oh, nice development report. Quite a few guys going up. But also quite a few going down. That's the ones we are worried about. Although I'm surprised Jimmy Watson is going down this much. It's only 24. Grishner almost back. So this will be Milosh's last start of the season against St. Louis, and they beat us 6-5. And we got one final game here. Everybody looks okay fitness-wise. We'll just put the backup goalie in against the Hawks to finish the season out. And he gets a 2-1 win. So it kind of took our foot off the gas a little bit there towards the end of the year, but still. Solid finish, 119 points, which is that a franchise record?
Chicago.
No, we were 124 last year, and oh good God, yeah, 132 before that. That's actually our weakest result in the last 3 seasons. Still, I'm pretty sure we're the favorite to repeat as Cup winners. So you want me to keep going to the playoffs, or should I leave that for you next week?
Up to you.
Let's see how far we get. And Ron Greshner is healthy just in time for the playoffs. So Schuberg out, Greshner in. And yeah, then Lindgren, who was just a call-up, we got no injuries. No suspensions. 100% going into the playoffs. Award nominees. Still nobody for Hart. Milosh for the Vezina. I think he will get that this year. Greshner are the only Norris nominee. We've dominated that the last couple of years. Keela Point and Denny Potvin. The other two, I think Potvin probably gets that. Really weak group of Calder candidates: Alain Langlais in Detroit, Don McCullough in Washington, and Pat Price, the only guy who had a real NHL career in the Rangers, but I don't think he's going to get that. No Bing nominee, no Ted Lindsay nominee. Oh, we're nominated for Coach of the Year again.
I mean, that's good. Not as good as, again, the Norris sweep last year.
And we got that was what was going by right there is the play-in sort of round they had. These 2-3 years, the NHL had a best of 3 first round, where in this case you can see Minnesota knocked off Montreal, Leafs beat the Rangers, Blues beat Atlanta, and Sabres beat Detroit. So we're going to get the Leafs in the, what's basically the quarterfinals. Oh, we got I think Pittsburgh on our side of the draw too, so we may have a tougher semifinal and a final. And Blues and Canucks and Sabres and Islanders on the other side. So the Leafs should not be that difficult. I think we can get through that pretty quickly. 2-0 shutout in game one. Oh, they actually outshot us. Could have used a little more offense there, but I'm not going to worry about it yet. Same lineup for game two. And even closer this time. 5-4 overtime win. Leafs have Kent Nielsen. There's a second star in that one. And Vadnais got hurt. Just a broken nose, 1 to 2 weeks, but we're up 2-0 already, so I'm going to put Schuberg in for him. And 7-1 win in game three, so I think we got this well in hand. Lineup's still okay. Yeah, just that minor injury to Vadnais. Everybody else is relatively rested and healthy. Hedberg's getting a little tired, but we're fine with it. And 6-2 win over the Leafs. So we sweep them in the quarterfinal round, although Nielsen is hurt now. Foot contusion, 1 to 2 weeks. I think we're going to leave him in the lineup. And I'm going to put Vadnais back in. Presumably he'll get healthier as we get closer to the next round. And let's see what we got. Looks like, yep, no surprise, Pittsburgh. So they beat Minnesota in 6, and Canucks still in it. Beat St. Louis in 2, and I think, oh yeah, I thought maybe, is that an upset? Buffalo over the Islanders? Yeah, Buffalo, the Islanders won their division, but Buffalo had 4 more points, so not really. But the two 1970 expansion teams, Sabres and Canucks, in one semifinal, and us and our main rival, Pittsburgh. So Ohio versus Pennsylvania in the semis. And yeah, I'm just going to leave Nielsen where he is. If we have to, we can maybe bump Lemaire up to the first line, but Pittsburgh takes the first game 3-2. With Jerry Cheevers in goal because of that season-ending injury to Billy Smith. Nielsen down to 64%, so I will swap him down to the 4th line in this game. Yeah, Lemaire up to the first line, and Andre Savard on the 3rd. So let's see if we can bounce back. Yeah, we can. 4-1 win over Pittsburgh in game 2. Another development report. Pretty much, Nielsen went down a couple of points. And Vadnais went down 3. That's not good. And he's got sore quads now, so I'm going to put Schuberg in for him. Nielsen's a little too worn out, so I'm going to put Willie Lindstrom in for 1 game. Even though we know what tends to happen when we take Ulf Nielsen out of the lineup.
Bad things. Bad things.
Oh, yeah, let's see if it holds true. Yep, it did. 2-1 win for Pittsburgh in overtime. So they're up by 1 game. And Ulf Nielsen says he was ready, and it doesn't really matter because we're putting him back in regardless. But he is indeed ready, even if he's a little tired. Game 4 against Pittsburgh. Uh-oh. Marcel Dion, 4-goal game, and we are down 3-1 and on the verge of losing our dynasty. And just when you think it couldn't get any worse, it can. Alf Nielsen's hurt again.
Okay, I'm going to tell you how to fix this.
You know how to fix a torn pec? Because he's out for 2 to 3 months, and I don't think I can. Oh, yeah, I can delay treatment. So this is one of the rare cases where, yes, indeed, we will leave him in the lineup.
Yes, but you need to move him down to probably fourth line.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to barely be able to play with that. And I'm going to have to put Vadney back in for Schuberg because that's clearly not working.
Yeah, you messed with my lines. This is what happens.
Okay, oh, good. Vadney is healthy almost.
Okay, let's see the lineup now. Here. Okay.
Okay, so Nielsen on the fourth line then? Lemaire in the first spot, or do you want Trottier in the first spot?
No. Trache up, Savard to the second line, Lemaire on the third.
But that is how it is.
No,
Trottier.
Nielsen down to the fourth.
Savard on the first?
No, swap Savard and Trache then.
Yeah. And leave Lemaire on the third, or move Lemaire off one?
Yes. I'll leave him.
D. Graybill, yeah, and welcome to the chat. We put together a pretty good D here. I think that's what, 3 Hall of Famers and a couple other pretty good guys, too.
Actually, that's right. Yeah, I had Savard up on the third line. I had Lemaire on the fourth, and you moved him.
Okay, let's go with this. Down 3-1. And we come up with a 3-0 win. And we actually held them pretty well. They only had 15 shots, so we made it easy on them in the wash. And Vadney is fully healthy now.
What's our defensive pairs there? I didn't look close enough at them.
Salming and Robinson, Greshner and Savard, Vadney and Watson.
Okay.
Pretty good pairings, I think. That makes sense for all
Yep.
of them. What's going on in the other series? Buffalo up 3-2 over Vancouver. So both us and the Canucks facing elimination tonight. Same thing with the lines this game?
I wouldn't change the thing. Unless, hold on, what's Van is only at 70%, but he should be fine for this one.
Yeah, he's on the third pair. 6-2 win. So we force a game 7. Trottier with 4 points.
Got their goalie pulled.
And Anders Hedberg gets hurt now. Cuddy or day to day. Well, guess what? You're not sitting out. Okay. Game 7 in Cleveland, or at least Richfield. Same thing with the centers. Leave Hedberg on the first line, or move Leach up to play with Trottier?
Nope. Leave it as it is.
Okay. 4-2 win. We got out of it. And the now healthy Vadney.
Yeah, why would you change things that worked for the previous games?
And the Sabres beat the Canucks, sadly. So what's the Sabres team we've got in the finals? Mike Liut in goal, so that's a big strength for them. The D, Bob Daly, Greg Fox, Dallas Smith, Dennis Kearns. Pretty good group, not spectacular.
Solid
Pedersen,
forward.
Don Marcotte, yeah, Sittler, Boldarev. Oh, Sittler
Lanny.
and McDonald were together. I got her in this one too. And Bob McMillan as well, so they probably had a pretty productive season. Yeah, Sittler and McDonald are about where they were with the Leafs. Looks like their secondary scoring was a little disappointing for the guys they've got. Yeah, see, I think the big challenge this year was the Pittsburgh series. I think we're going to get through these guys pretty quickly. So game one, doing the same thing. Three nothing shutout. And Ulf Nielsen playing fourth line time in intense pain, but is the first star. And now Dan Maloney got hurt, but at least that's not a major piece. Calf laceration, 2 to 3 months. So he could probably play if he had to, but.
Van is probably going to need to sit out the next game.
Oh, is he running down?
It's at 33%. See what you get there, but.
Yeah. Oh, Hedberg is healthy again. Good. 70%, but he's healthy. Yeah, Vadney's still 65, so. Schubert can play one game. Game 2 against Buffalo. Ooh.
I don't know why you're doing this every game. You should just have it moved. 8-4 loss. Oof.
Yeah, Lanny McDonald with a hat trick. That was ugly. Yeah, I'm going to be doing this the rest of the way, so you're right. Good point. Did we get anything? Oh, Andre Savard, well, he lost a tooth. Big deal. And
Put Van Ney back in, too. Van Ney back in.
Too late. Whoops. Malash has cooled off a little bit, too, but we get a 5-1 there anyhow. And yes, I will put Vadney back in now. Media criticizes Malash? Come on. I'm just going to say no comment because I don't want to annoy the media anymore. But come on, you're in the playoffs. What are you jumping on him now for?
They're annoyed with the coach for not playing him enough.
Played 60 games. That's plenty.
No, it's not.
Okay, does anybody heal up for this game? No. So with Savard slightly injured, I'm going to put Lemaire on the second line.
Dake.
Apparently, because Buffalo, behind the play of Gene Peacock, of all people, gets a 4-1 win. Tie the series up. And now Robinson.
Messing with the lines.
Bruised neck 1 to 2 weeks. He's staying in. And Savard is back to normal anyhow, so. We're bruised, we're battered, but effectively a best of 3 now. And I left Savard on the second line. 6-1 win, so on the verge of our 4th consecutive cup. No more injuries, no more injuries. Robinson still got his neck bruised, but he's 80%. I'm going to leave him in. Now, Sabres get a 5-3 win, so they're going to take this to 7 games. Okay, game 7. No new injuries. Adam, you got any lineup changes I can make so I can blame this on you if we lose?
Nope.
Robinson at 66%. I wonder if I should swap him with Vadney off the first pair. You think?
I'd put Greshner up.
And Robinson on the second pair?
Yeah. Although you can move. No, it should be fine. But you can move Savard up, move Salming down too.
Yeah,
so
because they've got. Yeah, keep the pairs together in the chemistry. Okay, here goes. Game 7 to keep the 4-year cup streak going. No. 4-3 for the Sabres. What happened? 1-0 after the first. Then they were up 1-0 in the first. Then we tie it. Then they get throw three quick ones. So they're up 4-1. I don't think we ever really came
You
back from
within
that.
10 seconds. Oh,
Yeah, it's just lack of focus there. Vadnais gets us back
Malash
within
got
two.
too cold and didn't play well enough.
And Lemaire gets a goal late in there, early in the third, but we just can't get one by Eliud. They outshot them 39-19. So the end of the dynasty.
Jeff.
Oh, and
What
even
have you
better, we
got fired?
Alf Nielsen Herb made his injury worse in the last game. Not that it matters at
Right.
this point, but
He tried. He was trying for us. Unlike our coach.
that's sad. What
Disappointing.
what happened in WHA?
Why did it have the Edmonton Oilers guy?
That was an old bug with the captains that we fixed a while back, but it left it on that left the captain status wrong.
Winnipeg
You're
got swept in the first round.
Yeah,
Wow.
wow, way to choke. So Stars over the Fighting Saints in the WHA final. Minnesota gets the final with a 36-39-3 record. A 38-39-3.
Second version of the Minnesota Fighting Saints.
Yep. And this is the point. This is the last really big year for the WHA. They start losing teams like crazy after this. So they'll be substantially smaller next year. Who's on the Oilers team? Michel Bergeron, not the coach, different guy. Not really recognizing Don McLeod, decent WHA goalie. Stefan Persson from the Islanders, dynasty teams. Richard Grenier, with the Nordiques in real life. He's done a little bit better with the Oilers this year. Oh, George Lyle, Whalers and Wings. Don Kozak, Kings and Canucks and Whalers, who had kind of an off year. He had a much bigger year the year before. Not an amazing team, but decent for the WHA. But yeah, well, clearly your fault. We blew the streak at him.
Yeah, you didn't play the goalie enough. He got cold.
I'm just going to advance this so we can see the awards and.
I'll start doing the wrap up then, all right?
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
All right, with that then, thank you very much for tuning in to another Franchise Hockey Manager stream. We typically stream every Wednesday night at 11 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/Franchise Hockey Manager, as well as twitch.tv/OOTP Developments. All of our streams are archived on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/OOTP Developments as well, with stream archives going live Saturdays around 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for European viewers. You can also reach out to us on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/franchise hockey manager. On Bluesky, we're at franchise hockey. You can also find us on Instagram and Threads and other social media platforms, as well as come on down to our official website, which is ootpdevelopments.com. Click on the community button in the top right-hand corner, which will bring you to official forums where you can come talk about franchise hockey manager, Idle Park Baseball, Perfect Team Go, or anything else you wish to discuss. Jeff, I will say again, just as a heads up for people who are watching us, our streams over the next few weeks probably will be changing days and times a
Yeah,
little
with
bit
the
because I know,
NHL playoffs.
yeah, but I know, for instance, in 2 weeks' time, we will not be having a regular stream because I'm going to be at a game again. So
Okay, and just
we'll
going
have to
through the
figure out another
awards here
time.
quickly. Bobby Clark, no, Dion was the leading scorer, not surprisingly. He gets the Hart playoff MVP. Lanny McDonald for Buffalo.
That's
Calder
the first
is,
time in 3 years has went to the winning team.
yeah, Don McCullough, Washington. Potvin, not surprisingly, gets the Norris. Oh, John Garrett over Bob Sauve for the Vezina. Or Jill Meloche for the Vezina, I mean. And do we get Coach of the Year despite losing the finals? No, we don't. We lose to Al Arbor, who's coaching Pittsburgh now. And the other awards, Lindsay to Dion, Ross to Dion, Bing to Dion as well. So Dion wins 4 major awards. And Gary Bergman gets the Masterton. Runoff vote for the Hall of Fame. Let's get that out of the way. Charlie Hodge really putting up a campaign to get in here. Will he get in? Sat next to him once at a junior game back in the 90s when he was scouting for, I think, Pittsburgh. And we got a terrible trade proposal from Detroit. Bill Bennett, not the former Premier of British Columbia. That name for Tardif. That's a no. Oh, we got another one from the Rangers. Terry Crisp for Tardif, but also a no. So what day do you want me to leave it on?
Up to you. You can leave it right there if you want. We'll probably come back July 1st. In our final season in Cleveland.
/ Richfield. So yeah, that'll be the last season for us. And I don't know, maybe we run this one a couple of seasons forward after, a few seasons forward after this is, after we finish playing, just to see what happens with the team. So I can, at high speed, see where all our guys wind up. But yeah, that is the end of the Barron Dynasty, unless we can really bounce back next season. So thanks everybody for coming out. If you haven't picked up the new update for FHM 11 yet, it is out. Version 11. Now I gotta look. 11.449. Yeah, that's right.
Thanks for coming out, D. Gray Bill.
Standing season back. Yeah. Didn't end the way we wanted, but came close. Came very, very close. Thanks for coming out, and we will see you all back here a week from now.